What's up, everyone? I want to welcome you to the Smart Girl Podcast. I am your host, Cherie, the creator. If you don't know, our theme here is science, health, and community. Today's episode is about basketball life lessons from the perspective of boys to men. I am so excited for this interview today with the founders and two of the team members of a phenomenal nonprofit AAU organization, better known as Brotherhood Elite Basketball. Coach Douglas, welcome.
How you doing?
Before we get started with the interview, I want to give a quick background as to how we got to this point. So basically, I met one of the coaches, Coach Wells, about a month or 2 months ago. I met him through Hills. I learned that he was a coach for basketball, and we started talking about basketball and a couple of other different things. And so I went to a tournament, a basketball tournament, that weekend that was held in Snellville at Brookwood High School. Shout out to Brookwood High School. It was an awesome tournament, so much support from family and other people in the community that were there to see those kids play. They played with so much heart, and I was so glad that I attended that tournament. And so that kind of brings us to this point. So we are actually Smart Girl Podcast. We are on location today at one of the sites that they have for practice in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And so I have with me Coach Douglas. He is one of the coaches for Brotherhood Elite Basketball. And so I'm going to interview him first. And then after Coach Douglas, I'm going to interview one of the other coaches, Coach Wells. All right, so Coach Douglas, how are you today?
Good.
All right, it's good to meet you. This is my first time meeting you, so I'm really excited about the whole experience. And I see that we are here today while you all are actually practicing, so that's very cool to see. All right, so my first question for you is, I would like to ask, what was the inspiration behind the name Brotherhood Elite? So for me, before you answer, for me, when I hear brotherhood, I think of family, I think of support, I think of something that if I was a male that I would really want to be a part of, something positive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Elite means the best, the highest, the best, set apart from the rest, so I really like that name. So I just want to know, what was the inspiration behind that name?
So the inspiration behind that name, it started off with two of our players, KJ, Coach KF's son, Irby's son, and another one of our players. He don't play with us no more. But it started off with them. So we mostly built the team around them because they was a brotherhood. Right?
Okay.
So we tried to keep the team around there, and we brought in new pieces. We tried to keep them pieces to build the brotherhood legacy. And the more pieces we brought, the better we got, and that's how brotherhood came about.
Okay. All right, very nice. My next question for you: when we talk about our community, and I'll say the Black community, right, and some of the issues that we face, do you see a need for male mentors more now than in previous years? If so, why?
I say yes, because most of the boys in this generation now doesn't have a father.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I had my father growing up, but I know, like me, I work with kids, and me working with kids, I see kids that don't have a father, like just have their mother. So
yeah,
me being there, like me,
a lot of single parent household,
a lot of single parents.
Yeah.
So me being there for them kids, I got a connection with them. So me having that connection, with them, they always come up to see me. I always make sure they should be good. Yeah. Always. But yeah, we needed to have like more intern, like what you say, interns,
male mentors,
because people need father figures in their life. They need that.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Especially this generation now, like they just built different. Yeah. They're just different, and we really need y'all. So I take my hat off to you all as coaches. Next question: what do you do as a coach to prepare the team for a tournament?
Me as a coach, I talk to every player individually. Like, hey, what you need to do this game that you didn't do last game, or what you need to prepare yourself. I mostly ask the players what they need to improve on as a coach. Me, my personality as a coach, I'm the hype coach. I'm gonna hype you up every game. I'm gonna make sure.
Man. Okay,
I'm gonna hype you up every game. I'm gonna make sure. Hey, you take a bad shot. Hey, take it again. Hey, look, take it again. Shoot. If it hit real, it's a good shot. In my eyes,
right.
I'm the hype coach. I'm gonna make sure you ready
like
for
that.
your game.
So your energy is always like top tier. Like that energy is just there.
My energy always every game.
I love that.
14U and 17U, my energy is always gonna be there.
I love that. Okay, and my last question for you: what life lessons have you learned yourself from being affiliated with sports and sports management? Life lessons.
Really?
What does sports teach you or have taught you, either about yourself or in general? I feel like when I see kids playing basketball, football, or whatever, whether they're learning or they're veterans, just me personally, we have a team at the school that I work at, and I have seen some, I don't want to say problems, but attitude issues that they may have, especially like with the boys. Like they'll get upset or whatever, whether it's a bad call, whether they didn't win the game, or just in general, like their attitude, some of them, not all, can be a little extreme. You know, they'll go, oh, you know, they'll get the person or whatever. And I'm just like, how can you be on this team and your attitude is just like, it's wild, like how your attitude can be. And then I think about like the NBA, right? And how sometimes their attitudes, they'll have the camera on them or they'll interview them or something, and depending on how the game went, they'll, you know what I'm saying, like attitude. So
with that, it really depends on like your passion for basketball. So like, let's say a kid out there, he's mad, he's not getting the calls he wants. It's because it's the passion for basketball. Like if I'm going out there playing hard as I can, and everything just happening to me, and you're not calling it, of course I'm gonna be mad. But sometimes the real honesty is, sometimes kids go through things.
Right.
So sometimes be something at home. They had a bad day at school, and basketball, the thing that used to take that energy out on.
Right. So I guess I would say, what kind of life lesson would you want your players to get from basketball? Like, if not anything else, what would be definitely one thing that you want them to get from the sport of basketball, like that it could teach them?
It's gonna bring people together. Okay. Basketball gonna make or break you. Okay. To be honest, either you gonna make it or it really depends on who's coaching you in basketball. Okay. It really depends on that. So let's say you got a coach, he's on you 24/7. Some players, they'll be like, okay, I can take that. But some players, they don't know, like, they feel like, oh, the coach is picking on me. He don't like me. It's just that now, it's the coach that he sees something in you. He see that, oh, you can be a better player, but you just not applying yourself. So that's what kids had that attitude, like, the coach every time he do something, he blame it on me. Right. And not that, it's because he see you. Like, if you the captain of the team, of course the coach gonna say, hey, make sure they do this, that, and that. If they don't do it, I'm gonna blame it on you the whole time. Basketball, it builds leaders. Okay. It makes you building leadership. And get you ready for that next level. Because 9 out of 10, most kids.
I like that. That's deep.
Yeah, most kids don't make it to go to college when you play basketball. I went to college. Okay. I didn't finish out how I wanted to because of injuries. But I went to college and I seen how it really was. It's different. It's real different.
So you feel like being a part of this team can put them in a position to go to college on a scholarship or something, or put them in a position to network or get to a point where they can do this in college or something like that?
Yep. Okay. And then the thing about the thing about Brotherhood, we don't take just good players. We'll take a kid that never played basketball before and train him until the best player he can be. That's awesome. We don't just take, we just want the best player. We ain't gonna take your son. Nah, we gonna take you. If your son never touched a basketball a day in his life, we gonna work with him until he the best player he can be. A good example is he just walked out of here. His name was Jonathan. When we first got him, he didn't know nothing about basketball. It's really his first time touching the basketball and everything. Now we got him. He's really one of the best players we got in our rec league. Okay, all right. That's awesome. All right, so my last question is somewhat of a trending topic. So it has to do with something that's going on online, right? So there is
a retired football player named Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
And I think he has a podcast or something online. He's been interviewing some people.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of like airing some things out and just exposing people, whatever. So, long story short, there's supposed to be a beef or something like that right now between the retired football player Shannon Sharp and then Shaquille O'Neal, who's retired from basketball.
Yeah.
So Shannon Sharp is saying that basically Shaquille O'Neal cannot be considered one of the top 10 or one of the GOATs of basketball because he only has one MVP ring as opposed to 4 or 5 MVP rings. So as a coach, my question to you, do you feel like this beef is necessary? And how does beef or conflict or whatever, how can that impact the team as far as, you know, the team as a whole or who's the MVP and whatnot? Because like I said, it's the thing going back and forth between them, saying that Shaq is not, you know, he shouldn't be considered one of the top 10 in basketball. So how do you feel about that with this going on the internet?
So for me, Shannon Sharp, in my opinion, he shouldn't be talking about basketball. That's in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think him and Shaq like was around that same area, like that era, like when they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
I know,
so too.
Yeah, and I know he probably seen Shaq playing.
Mm-hmm.
7'2", 300-something pounds.
Right.
Like, come on, like, dude, who's stopping that?
Right.
In my opinion, Shaq is one of the best players I've ever seen. Best player. I don't know why he would say that about a dude that dominated the league all his year. Like any team he went on, besides like when he started, you know, getting overweight. But his Orlando and Laker days when he was dominating the league, like how you gonna say he's not one of the best players? Like that's crazy. And then he coming from, and also Shannon, he was a good player too. But at the same time, how you going from two players, y'all both top of y'all position. He played tight end, he played center. Y'all both top of y'all position.
So he kind of doing too much.
Yeah, like don't come from a dude.
I agree.
I
agree. All right, well, Coach Douglas, I appreciate you coming to the Smart Girl podcast so that I can interview you. So I appreciate you. Thank you for your time, and we're about to interview Coach Wells next.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so everyone, we have Coach Wells with us right now, and I'm going to interview him and ask him a few questions about Brotherhood Elite as well. All right, so let's jump into it. So, Coach Wells, what were your expectations when creating this organization for the youth of the community?
Basically, to give them a place to go and hang out and, you know, feel like they are, you know, somebody's cares, basically.
Okay. All right, that's awesome. How long have you been coaching, and how has interacting with the team caused you to view our community and its needs?
Oh man,
I know it's a loaded question, so take your time.
How long have you been coaching? 20 plus years.
Okay.
What was the other question?
How has interacting with the team caused you to view our community, our Black community, and its needs?
Oh man, I feel like this is really needed because in the Black communities we don't have, you know, what other communities have, and for these kids to let off steam and, you know, just feel like they belong somewhere.
Okay. I don't know if you were here when I interviewed Coach Douglas, but he said something about a lot of the youth do not have like a father figure in their life or come from single parent households. So do you feel like this team or basketball in general is really touching them in some way as far as impacting them in a positive?
Yes, of course, because once you become a part of Brotherhood Elite, you're in the family, basically. Regardless of where you go, if you go off or play somewhere else, we're still going to support you.
Okay.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. My next question for you: has your experience with the sport in high school or in college ever put you in a position to overcome something like an obstacle in life, either physically or emotionally?
Actually, it has. I have a number of them, and
I feel a story time coming on. So how is your experience, like I said, high school or college, put you in a position to overcome something?
Man,
Because I feel like the youth need to hear what you have to say, especially about this.
it's basically I injured my knee plenty of times before, and it was basketball that actually made me push to get better, to get it back better because I love the sport. It's my passion. I also love teaching it and also playing it. So yeah, that's how
So
basketball.
when you got injured, that didn't like deter you from still wanting to play? Like
No,
if a player gets injured or they sprain their ankle or whatever the case may be, do you encourage them to keep going or just sit it out, or like how
well,
do you?
I pretty much tell them to sit out or and rest it and then come back.
Okay, all right, cool. What value do you think team sports provides for preteens, teenagers that may be struggling with confidence, attitude, or even impulse control? I was telling Coach Douglas, I've seen players on a team where like attitude is like a big deal, especially like with the boys. They might come in with attitude, or something happened during the game, a bad call, or they didn't win the game, or something like that, and then attitude comes into play. So, what value does a team sport like basketball? What does it provide them with if they're struggling with confidence or attitude
Well, in the
or
case of
impulse control?
basketball, shoot, you gonna win some, you're gonna lose some.
Mm-hmm.
So to become a good winner in the game of basketball, you got to become a good loser, and that's in life as well. It's just once you have that obstacle, you gotta overcome it. You get that's how you get better. You can't stay stagnant.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I like that. All right. So my last question for you, Coach Wells: are there any future projects in the works for Brotherhood Elite that you can tell us about?
Well,
Do you have any upcoming tournaments that we might be able to encourage our viewers and everybody to attend, so we can
yes,
support your team and just the overall event itself to get support and participation from the community?
yes. We have tournaments coming up. Memorial Day weekend. From there all the way up until the end of July.
Do you have any dates or times you can give us?
No particular date as of right now.
Okay.
Is because the tournaments are everywhere, so we have to sign up for them. And also, there's things that I want to do in the future, for as getting us out in the community to, you know, outreach to the kids and go to the children's hospital and read to the kids there. And there's a lot of things that I have in store.
Okay, that's awesome. So if someone wanted to purchase a ticket for one of the tournaments or a game, how would they go about doing that?
They have to go on the website, and I'll post it on my IG or Facebook, and they just purchase it there.
Okay. All right. So that sounds good. That sounds like a plan. So we thank you for showing up to our Smart Girl podcast today. And we hope to see you in the future, possibly at a tournament or one of your games.
Thank you.
You have an awesome team. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Derwin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
All right. That's good. Welcome to the Smart Girl podcast. All right. So, I have a few questions to ask you. First of all, how old are you?
I'm 14.
All right, so you're 14. What position do you play, and how long have you been on the team?
So this has been my first year here,
Mm-hmm.
been on the team, and I will run as point guard to shooting guard.
Okay, all right, that's what's up. So, what has your experience been like being a part of the Brotherhood Elite family so far? What has that been like for you?
I think it's been great. The team shows nothing but love. The coaches show love. They always want to work with you. They know that you have great potential in yourself. They know you can push yourself through. They know what limits you got.
Okay.
And they want to just see the best of you.
All right, that's awesome. What has basketball taught you about yourself as a person?
It has taught me very much a lot. Most of the time I do have anger problems where if something happened and the ref don't see it and they take it too far, I will lose my temper. But I'm starting to get control of that, and that I have I have passion, and I can see better out of you than everybody else, and I can see which way that can lead them to a perfect spot.
Oh wow, that's awesome. I like your answers. That's what's up. I like that. All right, so my last question for you, real quick: what impact has sports, specifically basketball, what impact has it made on your life so far?
It has made some good impacts and some bad impacts to where
Okay,
sometimes I will have
explain.
so with the bad impacts where sometimes I will have practice that day, but I will have like a project to catch up with in
Hmm.
school, and it'll get me slack off a little bit because I have to come to practice sometimes.
Okay.
But also, with the good comes with it, it gives me something that I can do in my free time to push off myself, and it can have me do something with my family because my entire family, coming up from my dad, they all play basketball.
Hmm. Okay, that's what's up. All right, so before you go, real quick, do you have any social media? So if any kids your age want to follow you, either Instagram or YouTube, do you want to drop your social media information real quick for the viewers?
Yeah, I can. My Instagram is 22.mark.
Okay, is that for Instagram or?
Instagram.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate you showing up for us.
I want to thank you for having me.
All right. Well, we'll see you at the next trip. We'll see you at the next tournament.
Okay.
All right. All right. What's up, sir?
What's up?
All right. So we have KJ in the building. Welcome to the Smart Girl Podcast. So happy to meet you. This is my first time meeting KJ. And I'm going to ask you some questions. So just answer as honestly and as open as you can. All right. So first question: how old are you, and what is your position on the team?
I just turned 16 May 7th.
Okay.
My position on the team, I play guard / small forward.
Okay. All right. So that's cool. How long have you been on the team?
I've been on this team for 5 years.
Okay. All right. So a little bit of time. What has your experience been like being a part of the Brotherhood Elite family?
It's been good. We've been going to different tournaments, playing as a group, practicing as a group, working hard. We want this.
Okay. That's awesome. I like your attitude. How has basketball, or what has basketball taught you about yourself as a person?
Oh, trusting people, believe in my team, have confidence in everything I do.
Wow. That's deep. I like the confidence part. I like that. I like that. All right. What impact has sports, specifically basketball, made on your life so far?
A lot. I learned new people, their attitudes, met new people, met coaches out I like to meet, all that different stuff.
Okay. All right. That's dope. All right. So, question. If we have some of our viewers might be in middle school, high school, or whatever. So, if you can drop your social media real quick, so if they want to follow you or subscribe to your channel, you go ahead and drop that information. We really appreciate it.
My IG is the real KJ_13. You can follow me on there.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate your time, sir. Hopefully, we will see you doing big things in the future. So thank you for joining us, and I guess we'll catch you on the next episode.
Okay.
All right. All right, so I just wanted to show you all. When I was talking to Coach Wells, he forgot to mention it, but he just gave me a shirt that says Brotherhood Elite that I am able to keep. So I really, for supporting their team, so I really appreciate it. This is really nice. So I feel a part of the family. I guess you could say I am number 4 on Brotherhood Elite, honorary member. So I really appreciate that. That was really dope of them to give me this shirt as a memento of supporting their team. So as we close out, I would like to thank Coach Wells, Coach Douglas. I want to thank KJ. I want to thank Derwin for taking time out of their day to speak with us here at the Smart Girl Podcast. Hopefully we can network or collaborate on a project in the future. I will be sure to drop their contact information and social media info in the description for the viewers who want information. So until the next time, may your brilliance continue to enlighten the road ahead. Dare to be different in a world full of copies. Stay sharp, stay smart. Smart Girl Podcast.